Throughout history, creative individuals have been romanticized as tortured souls, people whose pain fuels their genius. Society celebrates their art, but often ignores the suffering behind it. The lives of writers like Franz Kafka and Edgar Allan Poe, or painters like Vincent van Gogh and Frida Kahlo, show how artists have long been trapped in a cycle of emotional pain and social exploitation. Behind every masterpiece lies a human being who is often undervalued, misunderstood, and taken advantage of. Although society glorifies the image of the tortured artist, it simultaneously exploits their vulnerability, taking advantage of their emotional labor and creativity while neglecting their mental and financial well-being. The myth of the tortured artist began centuries ago and continues to shape how the world views creativity. Franz Kafka, for instance, worked as a bureaucrat by day and wrote at night, never receiving recognition for his haunting works while alive. Edgar Allan Poe died in poverty, despite being one of America's most influential writers. Painters like Van Gogh sold only one painting in his lifetime, even though his art now sells for millions. Society glorifies their suffering, turning their misery into legend, as if their despair was necessary for their brilliance. This romanticization encourages modern artists to see struggle as part of their identity, believing that true creativity must come from pain, when in reality, it comes from passion and discipline. Beyond emotional pain, exploitation also takes on a practical form: financial injustice. Creative people are often told, it's trial and error, or no one gets paid in the beginning. What this really means is, your work is amazing, but we won't pay you for it. Such statements are insulting and hypocritical. Say the same thing to a doctor, an engineer, or anyone in a professional field, and they would be rightfully outraged. Yet for artists, this lack of respect is normalized, as if creativity is a luxury rather than labor. Writers, illustrators, musicians, and filmmakers pour their souls into their work, yet they are expected to accept exposure or experience instead of fair compensation. Meanwhile, corporations and industries profit from their talent. This imbalance reflects how society benefits from creativity while denying artists the right to financial stability and dignity. The emotional labor behind art is immense. A poem, a song, or a painting is not just a product, it is a fragment of the artist's inner world. When audiences consume art born from trauma or loneliness, they often forget that it came from a real person's suffering. Artists like Frida Kahlo turned their pain into expression, yet society consumed her agony as visual beauty. Similarly, musicians and actors are pushed to stay productive despite burnout, anxiety, and depression because their vulnerability sells. This kind of exploitation is most visible today in the K-pop industry, where artists are treated like machines rather than human beings. Many idols endure brutal training schedules, lack of privacy, sleep deprivation, and strict diets, all while being constantly judged by the public. They are bullied, harassed, and body-shamed by ignorant people who don't understand the immense pressure they face. People call them robots, but in truth, they are some of the most dehumanized figures in the music industry. The root cause often lies in racism and xenophobia, as Western audiences dismiss or mock their hard work simply because of their cultural background. These artists are proof that exploitation in creative fields isn't just about money, it's about humanity, identity, and respect. Breaking this cycle requires a shift in how we value creative work. Instead of romanticizing pain, society must respect the artist as a professional who deserves fair pay, creative freedom, and emotional support. Art should not require suffering to be authentic. Supporting artists through fair compensation, mental health care, and appreciation for their effort, not just their product, would allow creativity to thrive without exploitation. In conclusion, the idea of the tortured artist has trapped generations of creative minds in a cruel paradox. The world adores their art, but disregards their well-being. From Kafka and Poe to Van Gogh, Kahlo, and modern-day K-pop idols, history shows how brilliance has often been accompanied by suffering, not because it had to be, but because society allowed it. If we truly value art, we must also value the people who create it, not after they are gone, but while they are still alive to see it.